go to Europe. We see MLS Cup being brought out to the main stage. Victor Montaliani on stage, part of the presentation party here. The president of CONCACAF, vice president of FIFA, who was on the broadcast with us yesterday from DC at the World Cup draw. It has been an incredible 48 hours in North American football, hasn't it?
It has. It's been a celebration for everything great about the game here in North America and how it's grown and what's ahead. In Miami today, I've played a huge part in that, Luke. Just everything about this franchise has been elite from the start. The way they've went about things, the fact that they're celebrating the last game inside Chase Stadium that was really put up for this team as they waited on a permanent home, and just no expense spared in any areas. And then you get to the field and you think about guys like that man there, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, Luis Suarez, obviously the greatest, and Lionel Messi. And then going again, Rodrigo de Paul. And they won't stop. They'll keep going. They'll keep trying to bring players in and make this even better.
A lot was made of this being another battle between Muller and Messi. There have been many down the years. Carl Valentine on the stage, great to see him up there, Bob Lenarduzzi as well, and then the presidents of both the US Soccer Federation, Cindy Paulo Cohn, and Peter Aguso of Canada Soccer as well. It just wasn't the Whitecaps' day today. It wasn't Thomas Muller's day, was it?
No, it wasn't, and we believe he was carrying something, so he wasn't at his best, but he was still trying to be out there and influence. He didn't want to come off the field, and he didn't stop with his effort. He just didn't have the kind of spring in his step and that little half yard of sharpness, or whatever you may call it, to open this game up and do something significant. But they still played their part, Luke. That you got to remember that when Sabi hit both the posts, actually post, and then on the tackle clearance post again, 3 posts, Whitecaps were in the front foot at that point. They were dominating the game, and it could have went another way, but football sometimes is decided by just inches here or there.
How much credit does that man Jesper Sorensen get for what he's been able to achieve in his first year with the club?
Incredible credit deserved to that man. For me, the best manager in MLS in 2025. I know he didn't win it. I know Bradley Carnell had a great season, and others. There's always more than one. But what that man did coming into this franchise, the players that he brought in, the belief he gave to people, the way that he made every single member of his squad better, and the style with which he done it, he's a credit to himself, he's a credit to the league, the way he goes about things. And I hope he stays for a while longer, because I do think he's a manager that could be destined for bigger and better things at some point. But Whitecaps are going in the right direction, and another winter where they might sign some players and freshen up again and maybe improve in certain areas. Who knows, they could be back here and the medal round their neck might be gold next time instead of silver.
A few consoling words from MLS Commissioner Don Garber to the Whitecaps' first-year head coach Jesper Sorensen, but it's another first-year head coach, Javier Mascherano, who has guided his team to a first-ever MLS Cup. Those two players combined on the 2-1 goal. Rodrigo de Paul scoring from Lionel Messi's assist in the 71st minute. Messi would add another assist in stoppage time to put in Allende for the 3-1 goal. And David Beckham said in our pre-game show today that he woke up today and treated it just as if he was a player in terms of his preparation, the nerves that were in. Thomas Muller with an applause for the Vancouver fans who are in attendance here, some 2,000 of them making the trip to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I think David Beckham, the positivity that he brings, Luke, the personality, the star power, but the work rate that David Beckham brings. This is a man that flies around the world, that has his own brand, that is has multiple sponsors and is here, there and everywhere. But his commitment to this club and the fact that he's always there, he's at games, he's a presence, and he's delivering for the club that he owns, I think is really special. And the last word I'll say in both these guys that we see in that picture, Rodrigo de Paul and Messi, for so long we've talked about how Rodrigo de Paul did the hard work to give this man the glory. Well, today it was a little bit different. It was Messi's pass to Rodrigo de Paul, and he got centre stage for once.
Well, the Whitecaps had the opportunity today to be the second Canadian team to lift MLS Cup. It's of course only happened once before, 2017 with Toronto. The Whitecaps ultimately today falling short in Major League Soccer's star-studded showpiece final. Three more goals today for Inter Miami. 20 goals in the postseason for the club owned by Jorge Mas and David Beckham. That's 20 goals in just 6 playoff games. And Miami set to head up on stage to get their winners' medals and then lift the trophy. What a moment that is between David Beckham and Lionel Messi.
Great to see, isn't it? Mutual respect and trust there between the two of them. David Beckham, maybe the only man that could have convinced this guy to leave PSG when he did, leave Europe, come to MLS. That's why you go and you get a guy like that to head your franchise, to own your franchise, to have that ability to bring the best players in the world still in their prime to this league, and what he's done there for Miami will never be forgotten.
So here come the champions to get their crowning moment. Yes, there is the star power of the likes of Messi and De Paul, but there are also the youngsters like Silvetti, like Allende, like local boys such as Noah Allen and Ian Frey, who have all played their part in this group.
They really have. They've all played their part, and they've come together and they've managed to build a team out of signing superstars, really. And I think that's really important, that when you look at the lineup and you look at the fact that it's took a bit of time to create this to become the champions that they are in 2025, and the pieces have had to come together and have had to add the right parts around about a Messi and an Alba and a Busquets, and eventually, having done that, heading into the playoffs, the momentum was just too strong. The quality was just too much, even for the Whitecaps, who had a wonderful season.
There is Noah Allen, the academy product and Florida native, who wins an MLS Cup early on in his career. These Miami fans will say goodbye to this temporary home by watching their side lift MLS Cup. The embrace between Beckham and Rodrigo De Paul. De Paul scoring his first MLS goal with 20 minutes left to play to make it 2-1, having previously scored in the Leagues Cup. And one man waits.
He waits. It's not like he's not done it before. He's did it 46 times before. This is his 47th. I still can't get over that stat. I actually had to get on top back there and ask Joe if it was true that he's won 47 trophies. It's unbelievable, and I'm just wondering, there is it his last? He's probably got a few more in him. Can he get to 50? What a player, and what a man, and what an ambassador for MLS. Don Garber and the league are very lucky to have him.
almost as drawn out as a FIFA pre-draw show. But we're almost at the moment here where Messi and Miami will be lifting the trophy. Let's take it in stadium.
For soccer fans across America and Canada, thank you for everything you've done. Leo, it's been an honor that none of us can truly even understand to have you in our league. The thrills, the commitment, the passion, the love of being here in Miami, and the love of your teammates. It's my honor to present the Philip Andrews Trophy to Jorge David and Jose, who will give it to Leo, who will present it to the team. Congratulations.
That will be seen around the world.
This is a global club, isn't it? This is the reason that they're forging a pathway for others in MLS to show that they can be recognised throughout the world. The players that they signed, the success that they've had, everyone will be taking notice of this. David Beckham right there alongside Jorge Mas with the two legends that are leaving the game. And the game will be sadder for it because they have graced many a pitch throughout the years.
They won the Leagues Cup in 2023. They won the Supporters' Shield in 2024. Lionel Messi and Inter Miami win MLS Cup in 2025. have a couple of very big pieces to replace next year, won't they, with the retirements of Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba?
Yeah, they will. They will. You wonder how they'll replace them. Rodrigo de Paul will become a designated player for sure next season, and then they'll bring other pieces in. I think what they've done in South America, bringing in some guys on loan or some guys that are younger with energy and pace, so it shows that they're ahead of a lot when it comes to recruitment in that area of the world. And they'll keep trying to expand on this. Look, they won't be resting on the laurels. I do think that they'll go again, so it's up to the rest of MLS, the other franchises, to try and keep up, to try and challenge them. You don't want to see them running away with it if you're in Atlanta or even a Whitecaps today or a TFC, New York. Some of the bigger teams have got a lot to do to make sure that this franchise doesn't run away with things.
Conversation between a dad and his son.
So hard, isn't it? So hard. You can imagine what Greg's going through. Sebastian will be bitterly disappointed he didn't have his best game, but these are the things that make you got to go again. You got to figure out what went wrong, what wasn't working right, and you go again, and you're better for the experience. You keep that critical mind. I'm sure his dad's telling him that, and reminding him of all the good things that he's done and all the good things that are ahead for Sebastian, who has just came on leaps and bounds, has improved as any football player I've known over the last year, 18 months.
From Sebastian Berhalter to Lionel Messi, two players who will very likely be playing in the World Cup next summer right here in North America. Silvetti, the boy from Rosario, kissing the trophy. But it's another boy from Rosario taking center stage, Lionel Messi. Time for the MVP presentation. I wonder who.
It's quite incredible that you scored 9 goals through the playoffs and you probably lose the MVP. But when you play with Lionel Messi, you accept these kind of things. I'm certain that the great man's going to be stepping up to pick up the MVP, hopefully in a moment's time.
Fitting that Jordi Alba lifts a trophy on the final game of his incredible career. And it was Lionel Messi who was given the MVP trophy Although we didn't see it there on camera. Messi wins the MVP, as you would expect. Miami win MLS Cup. Final thoughts, Stevie?
Well, just an incredible day for the league and everything. They totally deserve it, the ownership and the whole franchise.
3-1, the final score in 2025 MLS Cup.
The MLS Cup on TSN is brought to you in part by Chevrolet, Together Let's Drive, and by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires.
Chevrolet believes the truck should be as capable